So today I want to show you guys a new client called Cheetos Client. This client is basically in beta. The dev is still adding features to the client, obviously, and I kind of just want to show you guys the client on how it's like right now. This client, I will have the invite link to the Discord server in the description. It's $2 a month. You can prepay for the client, so if you want to buy like a year of the client, it'll be like $24. But anyways, I will head over to the client button here and I'll first go to this little settings gear icon. You could turn on the cheetah net indicator up there. You can turn on and off. There's log udon, log RPC, and this will all output to the melon loader console. Now you have these other options here too. And then over into the main client features now, we have a movement button which has fly, no clip, jetpack. You can change gravity, flight speed, spin, and the spin speed. We also have a exploit button here where you could have ghost mode, world triggers, and basically world triggers, if you guys don't know. Basically if you have it on, you could like interact with mirrors, and most of the time it'll, globally affect other people too. So you could turn on mirrors for other people if you have that on in some worlds. There's also a spoofing button here for FPS and ping spoof. You could also interact with every udon event in a world, so technically it can lag worlds if there's a lot of udon events. There's also just B Club specific ones here too, and I will go ahead and demonstrate on room 6 right here. Now, let's say if this room was locked and somebody respawned, so it was locked and nobody was in there. You could basically override it and you could lock or unlock basically any door here. And so like if it's locked, you could just unlock it and go in. There's also doorbells, and then there's also privacy, which I'm not really sure what that does. But there's also invite here too. You could toggle that little indicator. You can also spam all the doorbells, which is very annoying. But everybody could hear that in the world. I'm in an invite only world, which is why I'm demonstrating it. You can also like freeze people too. So like I literally cannot move, and that affects everybody that's in the world too. You can also teleport everybody, which basically just respawns them into the room that you're in. There's also target freezing too. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing any of this in a public lobby because it's pretty malicious. But it is there in the client. NPC audio just basically lets you override the NPC down in the spawn area, and instead of like it cycling through them all by default, you could manually pick whatever response on command through those buttons. Now, before I leave this exploit tab, there is a Murderer 4 map one too. So if you load into Murderer 4, this B Club one will switch into the Murderer 4 one. There's also protections here, which is block udon, which is basically just prevents any udon events from affecting you locally. So if somebody's respawning you with udon exploits like that, then this should most of the time prevent you from that. There's also block RPC, which basically emojis are RPCs and whatever else is an RPC. I think there's people that spam RPCs that could technically lag you, so if you turn this on, that'll protect you from being lagged by somebody that's doing that. Anti-orbit is basically anti-object orbit, so if somebody's orbiting items around you, and you have this on, the client will detect that, and it'll hide all the objects for you, so it's not obstructing your view or anything like that. There's also module manager. Now this is cool because if you want this client and you just don't want anything malicious, you could just turn off these options here, or whatever you want to turn off. Maybe, let's say you want to turn these off, maybe you use flight and you use notification join notifier off another client. You could just turn these off, and you could basically just pick what you want on the client, or you could just leave everything on. There's also pickup manager, which bring pickups allows you to basically bring any of the world pickups to you on command. There's also, which I'm not going to click on that, there's world history, which basically you could go back to any previous world you were in one click. There you could force join worlds by world ID if you have an ID. You could also copy or basically just change into any avatar by ID as well. You could restart the game with one click of a button. And then the other options would be if you were to select somebody. Now, for example, I'll select myself right here. So if you force clone, or if, well, not if you force clone, but you can force clone, you could favorite avatar. With force clone, I was gonna say, this only works for public avatars. It doesn't work for private avatars. You could still clone avatars with cloning off if they were uploaded public. But yeah, you have a local unlimited avatar favorites. You could teleport all pickups on somebody. You could teleport to somebody. You could attach where you're stuck on somebody. This is equivalent to just, selecting somebody. Like if somebody was like right here and you clicked on them, you could also do it this way here too. But and then the last thing that I want to show you guys is in the avatar tab right here, there is an avatar search. Now, this is really cool because a lot of clients that have avatar search, they're very slow. So for example, I'll type in like dog, and you can see it loads 1,000 results like really quick. A lot of other clients usually take like a very long time to load, and I think he's actually going to be working on making that even quicker, which is going to be nice. There's also author name search. So if you want to search somebody's VRChat username and find avatars by them, you could click on that and do it like that as well. You could also search by author ID, and then this is your unlimited favorites button. So I don't know, I'll just click on some like random one favorite. You can see it gets added there. You could also do a random search if you just want some random client. Or a random avatar, I mean, sorry. You could also filter by public or private avatars. And then you could also filter by PC or quest avatar. So if you want to find a good quest only avatar, then you could turn this on and, redo your search. And that's pretty much it for Cheetos Client. He's going to be adding more stuff to the client eventually here. But, I do want to mention that this client does have really fast authentication. A lot of clients, when you first load VRChat, it doesn't actually load the game right away. Like, it takes a very long time. And Cheetos Client authentication is really quick. So authentication is really, it doesn't like slow down the game at all. But that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment in the description, or you guys could join my Discord server.